The Shunga Empire was an ancient Indian Brahmin dynasty from Magadha that controlled vast areas of the Indian subcontinent from around 187 to 78 BCE. The dynasty was established by Pushyamitra Shunga after the fall of the Maurya Empire. Its capital was Pataliputra, but later emperors such as Bhagabhadra also held court at Besnagar in eastern Malwa. Pushyamitra Shunga ruled for 36 years and was succeeded by his son Agnamitra. There were 10 Shunga rulers. The empire is noted for its numerous wars with both foreign and indigenous powers. They fought the Kalinga, the Satavahana dynasty, the Indo-Greek kingdom, and possibly the Panchalais and Mathuras. Education, philosophy, and other forms of learning flowered during this period, including small terracotta images, larger stone sculptures, and architectural monuments such as the Stupa at Bharat, and the renowned Great Stupa at Sanchi. Shunga rulers helped to establish the tradition of royal sponsorship of learning and art. The script used by the empire was a variant of Brahma script and was used to write Sanskrit. The Shunga Empire played an imperative role in patronizing culture at a time when some of the most important developments in Hindu thought were taking place. Patanjali's Mahabhasya was composed in this period. Artistry also progressed with the rise of the Mathura art style. The Kamva dynasty succeeded the Shungas around 73 BCE. Origins. The Shunga dynasty was a Brahmin dynasty established in 185 BCE, about 50 years after Ashoka's death, when the emperor Brihadratha Maurya, the last ruler of the Maurya Empire, was assassinated by his Senani or commander-in-chief, Pushyamitra Shunga, while he was reviewing the guard of honor of his forces. Pushyamitra Shunga then ascended the throne. Pushyamitra Shunga became the ruler of Magadha and neighboring territories. The empire of Pushyamitra was extended to the Narmada River in the south, controlled Jalandhar and Sialkot in the Punjab region in the northwest and the city of Ujjain in central India. Kabul and much of the Punjab passed into the hands of the Indo-Greeks and the Deccan Plateau to the Satavahana dynasty. Pushyamitra died after ruling for 36 years. He was succeeded by son Agnamitra. This prince is the hero of a famous drama by one of India's greatest playwrights, Kalidasa. Agnamitra was viceroy of Odisha when the story takes place. The power of the Shungas gradually weakened. It is said that there were 10 Shunga emperors. The Shungas were succeeded by the Kamva dynasty around 73 BCE. Buddhism. Following the Mauryans, the first Brahmin emperor was Pushyamitra Shunga, and is believed by some historians to have persecuted Buddhists and contributed to a resurgence of Brahmanism that forced Buddhism outwards to Kashmir, Gandhara and Bactria. However, there is doubt as to whether he did persecute Buddhists actively. Support given later Shunga emperors were seen as amenable to Buddhism and as having contributed to the building of the Stupa at Bharat. Some writers believe that Brahmanism competed in political and spiritual realm with Buddhism in the Gangetic plains. Buddhism flourished in the realms of the Bactrian kings. Some Indian scholars are of the opinion that the orthodox Shunga emperors were not intolerant towards Buddhism and that Buddhism prospered during the time of the Shunga emperors. The existence of Buddhism in Bengal in the Shunga period can also be inferred from a terracotta tablet that was found at Tamralipta and is on exhibit at the Asatosh Museum in Kolkata. An inscription at Bodh Gaya at the Mahabodhi Temple records the construction of the temple as follows. The gift of Nagadevi, the wife of Emperor Brahma Mitra. Another inscription reads, the gift of Kurangi, the mother of living sons and the wife of Emperor Indrana Mitra, son of Kosiki. The gift also streamer of the royal palace shrine. Cunningham has regretted the loss of the latter part of these important records. As regards the first Koping inscription, he has found traces of 11 Brahma letters after Kuramjia Danam, the first 9 of which read, Rajapas Ardha Setaka Sa. Block reads these 9 letters as Rajapasadar Setikizar, and translates this expression in relation to the preceding words, to the Katya of the noble temple, taking the word Raja before Pasadar as an epithet on Ornans, distinguishing the temple as a particularly large and stately building similar to such expressions as Rajarastan, a noble elephant, Rajahamsa, a goose, etc. Cunningham has translated the expression by the royal palace, the Katya, suggesting that the mention of the Rajapasadar would seem to connect the donor with the king's family. Luders doubtfully suggests to the king's temple, as a rendering of Rajapasadar Setikizar. Wars of the Shungas. War and conflict characterize the Shunga period. They are known to have warred with the Kalingas, Satavahanas, the Indo-Greeks, and possibly the Panchalais and Mathuras. The Shunga Empire's wars with the Indo-Greek kingdom figure greatly in the history of this period. From around 180 BCE, the Greco-Bactrian ruler Demetrius conquered the Kabul Valley and is theorized to have advanced into the Trans-Indus. The Indo-Greek Menander is credited with either joining or leading a campaign to Pataliputra with other Indian rulers. However, very little is known about the exact nature and success of the campaign. The net result of these wars remains uncertain. Some interpretations of the Mahabharata and Yuga Purana have attempted to account for this. The Anushasana Parva of the Mahabharata affirms that the city of Mathura was under the joint control of the Yavanas and the Kambojas. Also, the Hindu text of the Yuga Purana, which describes Indian historical events in the form of a prophecy, relates the attack of the Indo-Greeks on the capital Pataliputra, a magnificent fortified city with 570 towers and 64 gates according to Megasthenes, and describes the ultimate destruction of the city's walls. Then, after having approached Sakata together with the Panchalais and the Mathuras, the Yavanas, valiant in battle, will reach Kusumabhaja. Then, once Puspapura has been reached and its celebrated mud walls cast down, all the realm will be in disorder. Pushyamitra is recorded to have performed 2 Ashvamedas, and Shunga imperial inscriptions have extended as far as Jalandhar. Scriptures such as the Divyavadana note that his rule extended even farther to Sialkot, in the Punjab. Moreover, if it was lost, Mathura was regained by the Shungas around 100 BCE, and Yudhayas mention military victories on their coins. And during the 1st century BCE, the Trigartas, Audambaras and finally the Kunandar also started to mint their own coins. Accounts of battles between the Greeks and the Shunga in northwestern India are also found in the Malavikarnamitram, a play by Kalidasar which describes a battle between Greek cavalrymen and Vasumitra, the grandson of Pushyamitra, on the Indus River, in which the Indians defeated the Greeks and Pushyamitra successfully completed the Ashvamedha Yagna. Nevertheless, very little can be said with great certainty. However, what does appear clear is that the 2 realms appeared to have established normalized diplomatic relations in the succeeding reigns of their respective rulers. The Indo-Greeks and the Shungas seem to have reconciled and exchanged diplomatic missions around 110 BCE, as indicated by the Heliodorus pillar, which records the dispatch of a Greek ambassador named Heliodorus, from the court of the Indo-Greek king Antialcidas to the court of the Shunga Emperor Bhagabhadra at the site of Odisha in central India. Cultural contributions. While there is much debate on the religious politics of the Shunga dynasty, it is recognized for a number of contributions. Art, education, philosophy, and other learning flowered during this period. Most notably, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras and Mahabharata were composed in this period. It is also noted for its subsequent mention in the Malavikarnamitra. This work was composed by Kalidasar in the later Gupta period, and romanticized the love of Malavika and King Agnamitra, with a background of court intrigue. Art history on the subcontinent also progressed with the rise of the Mathura school, which is considered the indigenous counterpart to the more Hellenistic Gandhara school of Afghanistan and Pakistan. During the historical Shunga period, Buddhist activity also managed to survive somewhat in central India, as suggested by some architectural expansions that were done at the stupa of Sanchi and Bharhut. Originally started under Emperor Ashoka, the last of the Shunga emperors was Devabhuti. He was assassinated by his minister and is said to have been overfond of the company of women. The Shunga dynasty was then replaced by the subsequent canvas Shunga Yakshi, 2nd–1 stone century BCE, Shunga masculine figurine, 2nd–1 stone century BCE, Shunga woman with child, 2nd–1 stone century BCE, Shunga Yaksha, 2nd–1 stone century BCE, Shunga fecundity deity, 2nd–1 stone century BCE, Shunga fecundity deity, 2nd–1 stone century BCE. Script. The script used by the Shunga was a variant of Brahmi and was used to write the Sanskrit language. The script is thought to be an intermediary between the Maurya and the Kalinga Brahmi scripts. List of Shunga emperors.